Hey folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting going on in the market. Very recently, the CFPB just came out with a notice just last week that said that they are expecting a wave of foreclosures to take place at the end of this year. They are telling loan servicers, you better get on it because there's going to be a wave coming. This is an issue. This is a major issue for the United States in general. Now, there's some places that are going to be harder hit than others, but this is what's happening. Back in 2008, the housing market crashed. In 2007 or 2008, it crashed because there were too many people buying homes that they couldn't afford, and they were buying with adjustable rate mortgages that then got knocked out from underneath them when they actually had to pay the piper. And in this case, it's a little different. In this case, we have COVID-19 has taken place, and the government has told the servicers, the lenders, that they are not allowed to foreclose on anybody for a certain period of time, a moratorium, if you will, that they cannot foreclose on somebody if they don't make their payment. At the same time, you also have landlords who may not have been paid during this time because even their renters they can't kick out if there's something COVID related for the renters, if their hardship is COVID related. Well, a lot of homeowners have not been paying their bills. Matter of fact, I have heard and I've read from, I believe it was Forbes, that said 3 times as many people who were going into foreclosure last time are now not current on their bills. So this is what's going to happen. At the end of this year, later around September, October-ish, the moratorium is going to be over. And what that means is all the people who are behind on their bills, and we're talking to millions of people who have not kept their mortgages current, they are 3 payments or more behind, which does qualify them for foreclosure. They all are going to be put on the foreclosure books unless the lenders decide on their own to do some loan modifications. Now, the CFPB warned these guys. They said, you better do something or we're going to take care of you, in more or less those terms. So the servicers, it's in their best interest right now to prevent from getting in trouble to go ahead and make up some loan modifications for people so that they can keep their mortgages. But there are going to be waves of foreclosures at the end of this year. And what the CFPB and lawmakers have suggested is kicking the can down the road a little bit more. They say, you know what, we just need to give them a little bit more time. The answer is no. It's not that they need more time. What has happened is these people, some people who did not get affected by COVID, still didn't pay their bills, and they're getting lumped into everybody else. These are people that haven't been paying their mortgages for almost a year now. Now, some of them, granted, could not pay their bills. They're in a situation where they were out of work. Their work is now maybe starting to come back up. Those are the people that the lenders maybe should work with so they don't get foreclosed upon. But people who've been waiting and haven't been paying their bills because, hey, I don't have to right now, nobody has to. Those are the people, it's coming. It's a coming. And see, this is what's going to happen is all the money that you needed to pay for the last year, if you're lucky, the lender is going to put a loan modification to put what you owe at the end of the loan. And in some cases, it will grow interest-free. And in that case, you'll be lucky. In some cases, it won't grow interest-free. It'll grow interest, but it'll be in a separate account, basically like a second mortgage, while the first mortgage continues on as normal, and you're gonna have to start making your payments. Here's the thing though, there's gonna be a lot of people that will not bring it current. The real estate market has shot through the roof in places like California. In some places like Texas, it hasn't gone up as much as fast, but there are a lot of places in the United States where the market has crept up dramatically over the last year and several years before that even. I have a friend who bought a property in the mountains in a resort area, and they've been doing Airbnb for the last 8 months. Their property has risen 20% just in those last 8 months, and they've only put $7,000 to $8,000 into the property. Minimal costs, and yet they've seen skyrocketing improvement in their appraisal value. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. And so right now, what you also see is you see interest rates are starting to creep up. Now, they did go down just a slight bit last week, but they've been coming back up since about January. See, a lot of people with the money that the current administration has given out and the past administration gave out, they've seen that there's a lot of money that's just been given away. Now, is this money being used to be caught up on mortgage payments? No. Instead, it's being used either to pay off debt, which is good, or it's being used to buy toys so that they can enjoy this time in COVID land. Some people have even paid for their vacations that are coming up now that people have started to loosen restrictions. So what you are likely to see is a lot of foreclosures coming up. which it's going to have a downward pressure on prices, but there's also a lot of people that want to buy right now. So it will allow for a lot of supply to give people the opportunity to buy something. And you're also going to see interest rates as they start to creep up to ease the inflation fears that could cause the house prices to come down somewhat. Now, places like California, here's an interesting thing. In California, there is a housing shortage, and there will be for years to come. The builders cannot keep up with the amount of people that want to buy a home. Now, the population in California is barely growing. At least before COVID, it was barely growing. But there are a lot of people that want to live in their own place. So the housing market is, you've got a lot of people that want to buy and a very small supply. Guess what happens? The prices go up. As interest rates start to go up, people's payments, they won't be able to make the payments on the high price with the interest rates up, so it kind of balances itself out. So for those of you that are looking to sell, this may be a really good time to sell right now, especially because it's springtime, it's the beautiful time of the year. This would be a great time to sell. And for those people that work with me directly, I've been telling them right now, this is a forward-looking statement. You should probably sell now and wait it out. And when the foreclosures start hitting in October, November, December, the worst time of the year to sell a property, that's when you probably will be able to start picking up property, because people will probably have to take less for those properties, especially if there are a lot of foreclosures, because the supply goes up, demand is satisfied, and the house prices come down. Or when interest rates go up and people can't make the payments, the prices come down as well. Best case scenario, house prices come down, interest rates come up, you buy a house at the higher interest rate, and interest rates come back down again, house prices go back up again, and you refinance. That's best case scenario. But I am suggesting to a lot of the people that I'm talking with right now, now's a great time to sell. Everybody that I know of that's selling right now is having multiple offers, dozens of offers within just a couple of days, at least here in California. And they're able to sell it for whatever they want and then some, sometimes more than the appraised value. Hold on to that cash, and then come when the foreclosures start rolling in, have your money ready. It's not taking advantage of people, it's taking advantage of the market. So folks, if you have an idea of something you'd like me to do a video on, feel free to hit me up in the comments or reach out to me on my website at www.watchbob.youtube.com, and you can comment there and I'll be glad to see what you've got to say. And pretty soon I expect to be doing another series. I did a series on how to buy a house. It's right up there. And I'm going to be doing another series here pretty soon on what to do to sell the house, all the different parts of selling a house. And once I'm done with that, I will probably start getting into some of the real estate investing techniques like fixing and flipping, subject to. I've talked about real estate options before on this channel, but I've got a lot of stuff that I can tell you about and teach you about. Wholesaling, rehabbing, all that. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, because there's a lot of stuff coming, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.